Okay, let's talk about Yeshua. Let's talk about Yeshua this Sabbath morning. Happy Sabbath, everybody. This is Prophet Rawa Nawabi coming at you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some information with you. I just want to share some things with you, read some things to you. I'm not going to tell you where I'm reading from. That's up to you to figure out. What I want you to do is put on your spiritual cap and tell me if this stuff is of the devil or if it's of the Most High. That's what I want you to do. So don't ask me where I'm reading from, what I'm reading. It don't matter. If it bears witness with your spirit, you're going to know if it's of the Most High or not. The Bible says this, John chapter 7, verse 16, 17. He that willeth to do my will know of the doctrine, whether it be of Yahuwah or whether I speak of myself. That's what Yahusuah said. I noticed that a lot of people who read and study the Bible and say they live by the Bible, guess what? They don't really know what's of the Most High and what's not of the Most High if the Bible itself is not open. And even then, some people still don't know what to do. They don't know if it's of the Most High or of God. I want to tell you, in dealing with people in Christianity and in Israel, a lot of people just don't know the Most High. They don't know him at all. They don't know him at all. And it's really sad because some people don't know if the Most High said or didn't say something. The only way that they think they know is if the Bible is open. But everything that's in the world is not written in the Bible. So what do you do then? How do you know if something is of the Most High or is not of the Most High? The Bible says that the Spirit bear witness with itself that we are the sons of Yahuwah. The Spirit, it don't say the Bible, it says the Spirit beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So what if it's an issue that is not explicitly touched on or referred to in the Bible? How do you know what is of the Most High or what is not of the Most High? The Spirit, y'all. It's the Spirit that leads and guides into all truth. The Spirit does that. Christians don't even know this. I think more Christians know it than even Israelites. I really do believe that. I have a long history in Christianity. Okay? A long history in Christianity, dealing with Christians, living with Christians, worshiping with Christians, being affiliated with Christians. And a lot of Christians, the only way that they know something is of the Most High is if they open the Bible. You know why? Because they're not guided by the Spirit. They're guided by a book. They're guided by ink and paper. In other words, the commandments, the character of the Most High is not written on their heart. That's why the only way that they can perform Bible study is by opening up a book. The law is not written on their hearts. It's not. It's not. They look at the Bible as a book of scholasticism. They look at the Bible as a SAT test. They don't look at it as something that they live by. It's just a test. And once you pass the test and get 100 on it, you all good. Do your life have to change? No. Your life don't have to change. Do your heart have to change? Long as you get 100 and know all the answers on the test. Long as you memorize all the things that's in the back of the book, the answers in the back of the book, as long as you memorize all the answers in the back of the book, guess what? You get 100, you get to go to get into the kingdom. It don't work like that, y'all. It don't work like that. You can have all the right answers and still be damned. I'll say it again. See, people don't understand this kind of talk. People don't understand this kind of spiritual talk right here. They don't understand it. Because the first thing they're going to ask is, how could you know all the answers in the Bible, but guess what? You still are lost. How is that possible? Well, if you have to ask that question, you really need to examine yourself. But I will give the answer. Y'all, the information in the Bible is not multiple choice, y'all. It's not multiple choice. And if you guess the right answer, you get into the kingdom. No, it don't work like that, y'all. Stop all that worldly thinking when it comes to Bible study. Stop it. You're on the road to hell. Let's go. Let's look at something. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 and 2. See, a lot of people just think this is about memorizing a lot of scriptures, knowing a lot of answers, knowing a lot of history, and yay, you get into the kingdom. It don't work like that, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, it don't work like that at all. Some people think that, hey, if I just study my Bible, memorize all the answers, memorize all the laws, I'll get into the kingdom. No, I'm going to prove it to you. You don't think Satan knows all the laws in the Bible? Come on, y'all. You don't think he knows all the laws in the Bible? Come on, y'all. Really? So now Satan gets to get the kingdom because he knows all the laws in the Bible. Stop, stop, stop. You see the problem with this type of thinking? Exactly, child of Yashral. Exactly. See, a lot of people think if I get enough scriptures under my belt, if I memorize the Apocrypha, if I learn all the history, if I get all these books and put them in my backpack and read them all and get all the history and archaeology, I'll get the kingdom. No, you're going to get damnation. Why? The heart is not changed. Oh, you got a lot of information. Oh, you know scriptures. You memorize the whole Bible on the way to hell. You don't think Satan has memorized the scriptures? You don't think so? As long as he's been around, you don't think he's memorized the scriptures? He runs all of the theological institutions on the earth. He runs all of them. He got his top people and lieutenants in charge of all the theological institutions. And you don't think that Satan has memorized the letter of the law? Come on, y'all. You don't think that there are demons out there that have memorized the Bible? Come on. Are you really serious? Our focus is totally off the Most High. He give us the Bible, and guess what we do? We actually make a God out of the Bible. We put the Bible in the place of the Most High, and we think we're going to get into heaven because we've done that. No, that spells damnation. Just because you got a lot of information don't mean that you're going to escape damnation. Bars. It don't work that way. The heart has to be changed. The heart has to be sanctified. The heart has to be renewed. Let me drop some knowledge on you. Some people think that just because they go and get married, they think that because they go get married and go through a whole ceremony and spend thousands of dollars on a wedding garment and all this kind of stuff, they think that they love the woman just because they did that. You could do all of that and not even love the woman. You could do all of that and be cheating on, fornicating while you're making all the preparations to get married. You see where I'm coming from, y'all? That's why you have so many men planning what you call those? Bachelor parties. That's why you have so many men planning bachelor parties right before they get married. They get strippers, porn stars, and all kinds of things. And this is before they get married. And they actually have intercourse with these women right before they get married. And they say that's a sign that they love them. I'm going to get everything out my system. It's not out your system. You're actually putting it in your system. You're actually putting it in your system for when you do get married to the woman, you are going to cheat. You're priming the pump. You're priming the pump for adultery, fornication, lying to your wife, cheating your wife, faking her out. And the same thing with these bachelorette parties. These women goes to these bachelorette parties, bachelorette parties, and they have a male dancer there. And a lot of times they have sex with these men right before they get married. What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? They're priming the pump for adultery. They're showing how much they're going to miss that single life. That's what they're doing. They're indulging in sexual gluttony right before they get married. Right before they get married. Guess what that proves? They're not ready to get married. That proves that they're not ready to get married. If you got to go have sex with a whole bunch of other men before you get married, that means you're not ready to get married. That means you are a whore. And it's in your system. You see? You see what spiritual thinking is? So you have couples have all these bachelorette and bachelor parties right before they get married. Why? Because first of all, they have a lust issue that they've never dealt with. And they think a bachelor party or bachelorette party is going to cure the lust. No. The only thing that can wipe away your sins is the love of the Most High. That's the only thing. Not more sin is not going to wipe away sin. Okay. But anyway, I want to talk about Yeshua. That's what I want to talk about today. And so what I want to do is share some things with you. And I want you to judge on whether or not it's of the Most High or is it of the devil. The ministry of Yahusuah was in marked contrast to that of the Jewish elders. Their regard for the tradition and formalism had destroyed all real freedom of thought and action. Now, think about that for a moment. Think about that. We know when we open the Bible up, we see that the way that the elders in Israel, in Judah, was ministering and the way that Yahushua was ministering was totally opposite of each other. But yet, both of them claim to be teaching Torah. Isn't that interesting? One was teaching Torah the way it would have been taught by the Most High, and one was teaching Torah the way it would have been taught by Satan. So automatically, by default, the elders who were teaching Torah were teaching a counterfeit of the gospel within the confines of the nation of Israel. So technically, they were not really teaching Torah, even though they had Torah open and was reading right from it. They were teaching a satanic gospel to the nation of Israel. How else could both of them be reading from the Torah, Yahushua and his apostles, and the elders and the priests and the scribes and the Pharisees, the Hebrew Israelite One West camps of their day? How could they both be teaching the same Torah, but the effects on the nation was totally different? That means one was teaching a counterfeit of Torah and one wasn't. Y'all, that's just logic. I'm just using logic right there. I don't even have to run to these scriptures for that. How could both of them be teaching Torah, but they're teaching it in two opposite ways that are in opposition to each other? That means that by default, one can't be teaching Torah. One is teaching a counterfeit of Torah. Just like today. Just like today. Everybody's teaching from the Bible, but everybody's teaching something different. So what's going on? Is everybody on earth that teaches from the Bible teaching the truth? They can't be. Because everybody's teaching something different and in opposition of the other person that's teaching from the Bible. So it can't be the truth. It can't be true. Even though they're using the Bible as a prop, it can't be. The Baptists can't be teaching the same thing that the Pentecostals are teaching, but they're teaching something totally different. And the same with all these Israelite camps and assemblies. They can't all be teaching this truth if everybody's teaching something different. Common sense should tell us that. Somebody's lying or everybody's lying. Something is wrong. The regard for tradition among the Pharisees and Sadducees and formalism, guess what it did, y'all? It destroyed all real freedom of thought and action. Let me describe to you how Pharisees and Sadducees keep the law. Pharisees and Sadducees keep the law, and scribes and elders and all these people that's letter of the law people, they keep the law much like a game of tag. I'm trying to help y'all. They keep the law in the same way that children play tag. I'm going to give you an example. I shall explain. Pharisees and Sadducees observed the law this way. Let's say that this right here is, you're safe if you're touching this. If you just got your hand on here, you're safe. This is how Pharisees and Sadducees, in a game of tag, this is how Pharisees and Sadducees keep the law. Oh, you can't, God can't touch me. I'm keeping this statutes, laws, and commandments. And what they don't take into account is this. They're keeping it in their flesh. Their heart is not renewed. Oh, you can't touch me, God. You can't kill me. You got to let me in the kingdom. See, my hand is on this it. See, you can't touch. See, my hand is off. You can't touch me. I'm back on it. That's how Pharisees and Sadducees think about the law. They think that that's salvation. No, that's damnation. You know why? Because even though your hand is on the Bible, even though you're studying from the Bible, you read your Bible and memorizing your Bible every day, that's your goal. You got your hand on the goal, but guess what? It's not in your heart. Because soon as you think that Most High is not looking, or you won't get punished, what you do? You take your hand off of it and like, I got my hand off of it. And then he look at you and you be like, oh, I got my hand back on it. You can't touch me. You can't send me to hell. You can't destroy me. You can't kill me. Y'all, that's not how you keep the law. That's how you go to damnation. Guess what the elders in Israel were doing? They were teaching the Israelites how to keep the law by just keeping their hands on the goal. But guess what? It's not in their heart. Is this making sense? See, a lot of people, they're not really concerned about loving the Most High, living their life for the Most High. They're not concerned about that. They're more concerned about being destroyed than they are about serving the Most High out of a heart of love and appreciation. They're way more concerned about being destroyed, killed. They really, the type of fear that they have of the Most High is the same type of fear that you would have of a police officer that's riding behind you on the expressway. You turn left, he turned left, you turn right, he turned right. And you're sitting in your car wondering, oh boy, did I do anything wrong? Did I pass a stop sign? Let me make sure my seatbelt is on. That's letter of the law. That's not how you're supposed to worship the Most High, y'all. You see him behind you and you get, you start thinking about all the statutes, laws, and commandments that you might be breaking. That's not how you serve the Most High. That's not how you serve him. That's not even how you keep the law. The Bible says, great peace have they that love thy law. Oh, hey, it says, great peace have they that love thy law. And nothing in the law is going to offend you. Is this making sense? See, a lot of people don't love the law. And you could tell by the way that they keep the law. They keep the law out of fear, like a police officer is behind them in a squad car. Oh, you keep looking out your rear view mirror. Oh boy, am I doing everything right? Do I have my registration? Do I have my tags? Do I have my insurance? Y'all, we don't supposed to be serving the Most High like that. There's no joy in that. There's no love in keeping the law like that. There's no love for the Most High in keeping the law like that. Because if a police officer is behind you, what are you wishing for? Think about that one. Let's do some critical thinking here. What are you wishing for? You're wishing that he would drive past you and get away from behind you and go out of what? Sight. You see that? You like that? Do you like that? Good. That's what you're wishing for. You wishing that the police will get away from around you. A lot of people are serving the Most High in the same exact way, but yet they want to get into the kingdom. It's no way they can get into the kingdom. You know why? They don't even want to see him. Let's go over to Matthew chapter 5. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5. It says here, Matthew chapter 5, verse 8. Watch this. Tell me if this sounds like the same scenario with a police officer behind you. You tell me if this sounds the same. Watch this. It says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahuwah. Uh-oh. Do this sound like somebody who's scared to see him? No, it says blessed. This is in the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5. It says blessed, not cursed. These people are going to be happy to see him. Blessed are the pure in heart. Why don't people want to see the Most High in front of them, behind them, on the side of them? Why they don't want to see them? Because they are not pure in heart. Do they study the Bible? Yeah. Do they study to show themselves approved? Yeah. But guess what? They don't study to show that their hearts are in line with the character of what the law represents. They don't study the Bible that way. They study the Bible from a letter of the law perspective, a legalistic perspective. That's why when the police officer, if the Most High gets behind them, they think he's behind them to kill them, to penalize them. They never think that he's behind them to help and bless them. They don't think about that. They think that he's behind them to see if their tail light is out. Oh, wait. See, a lot of people are mistaking their fear and apprehension of the Most High. They mistaken that emotion and thoughts as love for the Most High. That's not love. You are terrorized, terrified by the Most High. Just like one would be if a state trooper was behind them. That's not how you serve them. I'm going to prove it to you. Let's go over to Exodus chapter 20. I think Exodus chapter 20, somewhere around verse 19. Let's go up a little bit. Let's go up to verse 18. And all the people saw the thundering and the lightning, and the noise of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood. Listen, listen. They stood afar off. Let me get away from him. Let me get away from the Most High. I wonder why they want to get away from the Most High. God's chosen people want to get away from the Most High. I wonder why. Let's see. Boy, boy, boy. We better get our hearts right. They removed and stood afar off, and they said unto Moses, Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear you. We're going to listen. We're going to listen, Moses. But watch what they said. But let not God speak with us. Oh, wow. We don't want to hear nothing he got to say. We'll listen to you. I don't want to hear him talking. Please. We are terrified of him. Wow. These are Israelites, y'all. It's no need to start bringing up Edom right here. This ain't got nothing to do with Edom. This is talking about the Israelites. They didn't want to hear the truth from the mouth of the Most High. There you go, child of Yah. They said he gonna kill us. He's out to get us. Wow. It wasn't that he was out to get them. It wasn't that he was going to kill them. Guess what? They were not pure in heart. Matthew chapter 5, verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahuwah. They were wicked. They were demonic. They still had Egypt coursing through their veins. Hence, they could not tolerate the Most High. They still had the gods of Egypt in their hearts. And look at this. Look at this. Oh boy. Look at this, y'all. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, please. Please, Moses. We don't want to hear him. We want to hear you. We don't want to hear him. Now, let me ask you this. Some people say, well, that's good. They wanted to hear the prophet. Really? You think so, huh? Really? How did that work out for the children of Israel? It didn't. Most of them had to die in the wilderness just listening to Moses. So they didn't want to hear nothing that the Most High had to say directly or indirectly. They didn't, y'all. What make us think that it's any different with the Bible? Yeah, people study the Bible. Yeah, I love my Bible. I love my Bible. Statutes, laws, and commandments. Statutes, laws, and commandments. Guess what? They don't want to hear nothing the Most High has to say. They don't. Even though they study the Bible every day. They don't want to hear what the Most High has to say. They have deceived themselves into believing they want to hear what the Most High said, just like the people did in the wilderness. Oh, Moses, you tell us what the Most High says. You be the Bible for us. How many times did they want to stone Moses? How many times did they want to stone Moses for him communicating what the Most High told them? They never really wanted to hear nothing he said. Never. These people, come on. They were rebellious, stiff-necked, and rebellious and wicked. They didn't want to hear nothing that Moses or the Most High had to say. Nothing. Anything from heaven, they didn't want to hear it. Anything that was in the Bible, they didn't want to hear it, even though they said, hey, we'll make a deal with you, Moses. We'll listen to everything we'll listen to all the statutes and commandments of the Most High come from your mouth. But the audacity. We don't want to hear nothing the Most High has to say. Wait a minute. When did y'all start calling shots? When did y'all wicked folks start calling shots? Who put y'all in charge to tell the Most High when not to speak and who to speak through? See, these people are fakes. They are fakes and phony and hypocrites and liars and demons. They don't want to hear nothing the Most High has to say. Let's keep reading. I'm going to prove it to you. They plan. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Yahuwah speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for Yahuwah is come to prove you. Prove what? If you have a pure heart. That's why he's come. He didn't come to kill you. He came to prove you. Where did y'all get this killing stuff from? What make you think he wants to kill you? I'm going to tell you what makes wicked people think that the Most High wants to kill them, because they are wicked. They have wicked hearts. And they are not willing to change their hearts. That's why wicked people believe that God is always trying to kill them. And if you notice Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, guess what they talk about all the time? How the Most High is going to kill people. They talk about that more than anything. Kill, kill, kill. Yeah, we know that the Most High kills and makes alive. We know that. But is that all he does? Let you all tell it. That's what y'all going to say, just like the children of Israel. Now, there is some killing that's going to have to take place. Don't get it twisted. But that's not the only thing that he do. He said, I'm mighty to save. So, and they said unto Moses, speak thou unto us, and we will hear. Please, they just lying. They're not going to hear nothing. Speak thou to us, Moses, and we'll hear you. Yeah, right. Lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for Yahuwah is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. The fear here is the type of fear of adoration. That's the type of fear that's here. It's not the fear of a murder going to take place. It's the fear of adoration, worship. The Most High want to see if you really feeling him out of a heart of love, adoration. That's the type of fear that it's talking about here. It's got to be a different type of fear, because they are fearing that he's going to kill them. And Moses is reassuring them, no, he's not here for that type of fear. He's here for fear of worship, praise, and adoration. They didn't feel the Most High like that. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where Yahuwah was. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me your Elohims of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. Didn't they do that? They made gods of gold, wood, silver, stone, all kinds of stuff. So the reason why people don't want to see God, they don't want to hear from God, and they don't want to hear from his prophets is because they have a wicked nature. That's why nobody wants to hear from the Most High. That's why a lot of people don't even study their Bible. They don't want to know what the Most High is telling them about what to do in their life. They don't want to know that. I was just recently talking to a person. They said they will die. Why? Oh, well, I think I've addressed that. Why? The why. It's because they have wicked hearts. They had been in captivity for so long, and they were so used to being under an imposed law model of worshiping other gods that they start to paint the Most High with the same paintbrush. I was about to say toothbrush, but paintbrush that they worship the gods of Egypt, who were under an legalistic imposed law model. So they transposed the laws of those gods and the way that they worship those gods. They transposed that type of worship onto the character of the Most High. And this is one of the reasons why they were afraid. But the Most High is not like any other Elohim. He's not. And that's why he told them in Exodus chapter 20, watch this. And ye shall make, verse 22, and Yahuwah said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, not the whole world, just the children of Israel. Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. In other words, you're not going to make my image, my character into the gods of Egypt. Don't make me, don't describe me, don't worship me, don't think about me in your brain about in the same way that you thought about the gods of Egypt. Don't do that. That's called idolatry. Not even in thought do I want you making an image of me in the characteristics of these other gods. Don't even do that. Even if there is no gold, silver, wood, or stone around, I don't even want you thinking about me in the same way that you think about these other gods. That's called idolatry. That's called a graven image in the heart and mind. Let alone wood, stone, silver, gold, and iron ore. So you can look at people, even though they don't have graven images of wood, stone, and gold, and silver, and wood, and all this stuff. When you talk to them, you could tell that they're worshiping another god. I hear it all the time. People will say Jesus, people will say Yeshua, people will say all this stuff, but when you hear them describe this God, it sounds like a demon that they're describing. It don't sound like the Elohim that is the God of Israel. It don't sound like that one. It don't. All you have to do is watch the way they worship him, the way they sing about him, the songs that they sing about him, the things that they rap about the Most High. They're rapping about a demon. What they're doing is transposing or transferring the character of a demon onto the person of the Most High. And that's exactly the first thing that he warned Moses to warn the children of Israel of in Exodus chapter 20. But see, hey, what's going on, Yashral? Shalom. I mean, Israel of Yah, Israel Ark of Yah. How you doing? Shalom. See, a lot of people are worshiping an ideological idol of the Most High, and they don't even know it. And the reason why they don't know it, because so many people talk about wood, stone, gold, graven images, and paintings. Y'all, please, it's way deeper than that stuff. Listen to how people describe the Most High in Israel. Most of the time, they're describing a demon. They're not describing the Most High. Look at the way they worship him. Look at the way they sing about the songs they sing about him, the things they rap about him. They're rapping about a demon. Not everybody, but the majority. Not everybody, but majority. They're rapping about a demon. They just put for the demon's name, they just put Yahusuah. That's all they're doing. That's exactly what Yahusuah warned us about. Let's read it again. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 22. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, not the whole world, not Christians, not Baptists, not Pentecostal, not Church of God in Christ, no. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make, look at the first warning he gives them. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver or gold. In other words, don't cast me in the image of a god of silver or gold. And people stop there. In other words, don't make a painting of me with acrylic or watercolors. And people stop there. But what about the ideological paintings? People don't pay a lot of attention to that. And I could tell because there's idolatry going on everywhere. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon the burnt offerings, and thy peace offerings, thy sheep, thy oxen, and all the places where I record my name will I come unto thee and will bless thee. So Matthew chapter 5, verse 8 says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahuwah. They're not going to be afraid of him with the type of fear of a person that's coming to kill them. No, it's the type of fear where you honor, reverence, and worship. That's the fear that the Most High wants us to have of him. Not the fear that you would have of a person that's a serial killer. Because when I see people and they describe the fear of the Most High, it's really interesting that they're describing the fear of a demon, the fear of a serial killer. And a lot of people believe that you should fear the Most High the same way you fear Satan. That's how I know they really don't have dialed in how to really worship and serve the Most High. They really don't, because they think that you're supposed to fear the Most High the same way that you fear Satan. Y'all, that is so crazy. They don't know by default what they're doing is they're gearing the characteristics of Satan to the Most High. And by default, they're making the image of the Most High into the image of Satan by worshiping him in the same fear. Is this making sense? Is this clear? Because a lot of times I'm real concerned on whether or not I'm being clear or not. But if I'm being clear and this makes sense to you, even if you watch this on the replay, it's clear, put a number one, put the number one. Let's make it easy. Put the number one, even if you're hearing this on the replay and it's not the live, put a number one. Okay, good. Somebody's getting it. Okay, good. I got some people that's getting this. Y'all, we don't supposed to fear the Most High the same way we fear Satan. That is ridiculous. Let me tell you, if you fear the Most High the same way that you fear Satan, you're not going to make it into the kingdom. It means you're worshiping Satan. And neither are you supposed to fear Satan with the same fear that you fear the Most High. You don't suppose that, because if you do that, that means you are worshiping Satan as the Most High. Do this make common sense to anybody? Really? Because because it's become so, the issue has a fear and subjects of kindred association have become so muddled and muddied that a lot of people think that you're supposed to fear the Most High the same way you fear Satan. I don't want to fear the Most High the way I fear Satan. I want to love the Most High. I want him to be my friend, my father that loves me, that won't neglect me, that won't give me a serpent instead of an apple. That's the type of father I want. I want a father who has my best interest at heart. I don't want to be worshiping him the same way and fearing him and loving him the same way people love and fear Satan. I know. I'm not interested in that. I mean, if we're going to treat both of them the same way, what's the point? That's hell right there. That's hell right there. But anyway, I just thought I need to clear some of this stuff up, because the way that people talk about the Most High in Israel and in Christianity, it sounds like they're worshiping Satan. That's what it sounds like to me. And I've been noticing this ever since I was a teenager. I've been aware, not keenly aware, but I began to be aware of this when I was a teenager. I'm like, who are these people worshiping? I've heard Christians and Hebrew Israelites say some horrible things about how they should be worshiping the Most High because they fear him. Horrible things. And I'm like, well, if that's the Most High that y'all worshiping, y'all can have that Most High, because that Most High you're describing is Satan. It's not it's not the God of Israel. He's not like that. Why y'all even think he's like that? That sounds just like the devil to me. But they think they can trick me because they got the Bible in their hand. I don't care what you're holding in your hand. I don't care if it's an angel in your hand. That's the devil. that don't even make sense to me. I want to tell you, I hear Israelites talk about the Most High like he is Satan. And what the Bible say about Satan? He's to steal, kill, and destroy. I hear a lot of Hebrew Israelites describe the Most High like that. Kill, steal, destroy, and you can't trust him. And he will sneak up on you and kill you too. I'd be like, oh boy. I'm like, if y'all saying that the Most High is like that, what are y'all saying the devil gonna do? He gonna do something worse than that? It just don't make sense, y'all. I think a lot of these people that's teaching the Bible don't know the Most High. They don't really know him. They don't know him. He's not their friend. He's their enemy. And why is he their enemy? Because their hearts is not pure. And that's why they default to describing the Most High with the characteristics of Satan, which is idolatry and blasphemy. There's a problem here. Okay. So the Pharisees and Sadducees, the elders, they taught totally different than Yahusuah. They did. They lived in a continual dread of defilement. The elders and the scribes and Pharisees, they always was concerned about hand washing and being defiled. Why? Because they thought if the type of relationship they had and the lens that they were looking at the Most High as, hey, if I help somebody that's defiled, God is going to kill me. That's what they defaulted to. So to avoid contact with anything that was unclean, they kept aloof not only from Gentiles, but from the majority of their own people. Why? Because they had a dread of defilement. Why? Because they said, if I get defiled, God will kill me. Wow. So by worshiping the Most High this way, it hardened their hearts towards their fellow men, and it hardened their hearts towards the Gentiles, be they Israelites or the other nations. It really hardened, it calcified their hearts in the worship of the Most High, and it calcified their hearts in the service of others. But from the majority of their own people, they calcified themselves, seeking neither to benefit them nor to win their friendship. These were not a friendly group of people, y'all. And by dwelling constantly on these matters about defilement and clean and washing of hands and should I help them, should I not, they had dwarfed their minds and narrowed the orbit of their lives. That's what they did. Their example of this type of lifestyle and worship of the Most High, it encouraged egotism and intolerance among all the classes of the nation of Israel. Yahushua began the work of reformation by coming into close sympathy with humanity. We know that he had to do that. Why? Because he became incarnate in the earth. He came in close association with sinful men, even the nation of Israel, while they were in captivity. While they were at the bottom of everything, he came. While he showed the greatest reverence for the law of Yahuwah, he rebuked the pretentious piety of the Pharisees. And he tried to free the people from the senseless rules that bound them. The rules didn't even make sense. It wasn't inspired by the Ruach HaKodesh. He was seeking to break down the barriers which separated the different classes of society in Israel, that he might bring men together as children of one family. His attendance at the marriage feast was designed to be a step towards effecting this change. So the Pharisees and Sadducees was doing what? Breaking the nation up, fragmenting the nation, creating sectarianism in the nation. But Yahushua came to do what? Bring together people. And this was seen in John chapter 2 with the wedding feast. He came in close association with all classes of people that were in Israel, even a harlot who washed his feet. Yahuwah had directed John the Baptist to dwell in the wilderness, that he might be shielded from the influences of the priests and rabbis. That's why John lived in isolation in the wilderness. He lived in isolation of the wilderness because the Pharisees and Sadducees were demons in human form. And they were casting the image of the Most High as a demon in the way that they were worshiping him and serving the nation as leaders. John the Baptist had to be separated from the priests and rabbis to be prepared for his special mission. But the austerity and isolation of his life were not an example for the people. John himself had not directed his hearers to forsake their former duties. He bade them to give evidence of their repentance by faithfulness to Yahuwah in the place where he had called them. So John the Baptist didn't pull one of these stunts like the Greek Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church say you can't marry, you have to be austere life, you have to, take on a vow of poverty. John didn't teach that. Even though he led a life like that of austerity, he didn't impose that on the people. And the only reason why he had to do that is because to stay away from the wicked priests, because he was of the priestly class. His father, Zacharias. Yahusuah reproved self-indulgence in all its forms. Yet he was social in his nature. He accepted the hospitality of all classes and visiting the homes. Yahusuah visited people's homes. If you are not willing to visit people's homes, you're not really a saint. It's nowhere in the Bible where you can go where saints don't visit people's homes. It's nowhere. You're not really a saint for real, if you're not visiting people's homes. If you're not concerned about the widows, the homeless, the single mothers, you're not really a saint for real. You're not sanctified, set apart for the building of the kingdom if you're not willing to visit people's home and have them visit yours. You're not really. That's something we need to correct. Visiting the homes of the rich, the poor, the learned, the ignorant, and seeking to elevate their thoughts from the questions of commonplace life to the things that are spiritual and eternal. So not only do you visit the saints, not only do you visit the people in your nation, but you don't visit them to talk about what you saw on Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives. No, you go to elevate their thoughts from the questions of the commonplace life to the things that are of a spiritual and eternal nature. You don't go to their house to visit and be a busybody and to tell them how to run their house. You go there to bless them, to elevate their minds, to give them a gift, whatever. Stuff like that. Same thing Yahushua did when he came to the nation of Israel. Those are type of things you're supposed to do. Heal, minister, prayer, feed, assist, help. Those are the kinds of things you do. You see, it was by personal contact and association that Yahusuah trained his disciples. Sometimes he taught them sitting among them on the mountainside, sometimes beside the seaside, or walking with them by the way. He revealed the mysteries of the kingdom of Yahuwah to the disciples. He did not sermonize to men. Wherever hearts were open to receive the divine message, he unfolded truths of the way of salvation. He did not command his disciples to do this or that, but said, "Follow me." On his journey through country and cities, he took them with him that they might see how he taught the people. He linked their interests with his interests, like the Bible says in John 17 about them being one. And they united with him in the work. So the example of Yahusuah in linking himself with the interests of humanity should be followed by all who preach the word and by all who have received the gospel of his grace. We are not to renounce social communion. We should not seclude ourselves from others in order to reach all classes. We must meet them where they are, not keep them where they are. Just meet them where they are. Like the Most High met us in our lives. He met us where we were. He didn't tell us to stay there. He said, I'm going to meet you there. Just like the Bible says in Luke chapter 15 with the prodigal son. He said, the father saw the son a great way off. And guess what he did? Let's look at that. Luke chapter 15. Verse 22. Hold on a second. Luke chapter 15. Oh. 15:20. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. So the boy was a great way off. And the father saw him a long way off and ran to him and fell on his neck and kissed him. You see, that's how it works, y'all. We are the lost sheep. We are the lost sheep that he has to come and look for. Yes, he finds us where we are, but he don't keep us where we are. And why does he find us where we are? Because if the prodigal son, if the father of the prodigal son didn't meet him, guess what? The son would have never made it. Even though he had his feet aimed towards the kingdom, aimed towards daddy's house, he wasn't going to make it on his own. He wasn't. Stop thinking that you're going to make it on your own. You're not going to make it on your own. If the Most High don't meet you where you are, you're going to be damned. You can guarantee you that. You're not going to make it. Yeah, your feet is headed that way. Your mind is thinking about, I want to get there. But guess what? If he don't meet you, you're not going to make it. If the lost sheep that was lost was not picked up by the shepherd, the sheep was never going to make it home. Never. Stop thinking that you're going to be able to make it without the Most High. You can't make it without the Most High. You're not supposed to make it without the Most High. That's why he meets you where you are. And then he picks you up from where you are and takes you to where he is. And that's what Christians have wrong. We fall down, but we get up. No, you don't get up on your own. You don't get up on your own. You don't make it in the kingdom on your own. He has to meet you a great way. That's why I don't like that Johnny McClurkin song. We fall down, but we get up. You can't get up on your own. The Most High is going to have to give you strength to get up. He's going to have to come and pick you up and carry you on his back, just like the serenity prayer states. Just like Luke 15 with the prodigal son, just like the lost sheep. So I just wanted to come to you today and talk to you about Yahusuah. I wanted to talk to you about his character. I wanted to talk to you about his law. Yeah, we went over a few scriptures, but I wanted to give you a real good idea, and we're going to be closing. I want to give you a real good idea of what the Most High is like, how much he loves his children. He will come and get you. He will come and save you. He will rescue you. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That's beautiful. Are you in the secret place? Great peace have they that love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. Why? Because they in the secret place. In the secret place, there is peace. Are you living in the character of the Most High? Because a lot of people talk about keeping the law. But like I described to you, the law to them is just a laundry list of do's and don'ts. That's all the law is to them. Statutes, laws, and commandments is just a bunch of a grocery list of what to get and what not to get. That's all the law is. The law to a lot of Israelites, most Israelites, is not the character of the Most High. It's not that. That's something that you pattern your life after, your heart after, your mind after, your emotions after, your thoughts after. The law is not that to most Israelites. All you have to do is click on any camp and hear them teach about the law. And you're going to hear, what you're going to hear is a description of a laundry list of do's and don'ts. And if you don't get everything on the laundry list, you get killed by a person that's going to hunt you down. And they're waiting for you to make the slightest slip up so they can kill you. That's what the statutes, laws, and commandment has, for the most part, has always been for most Israelites in the history of the world. No wonder they don't love the law. No wonder they always trying to find a way around the law. Because the heart is not changed. It's not renewed. It's not, and it can't even be sanctified if you think about the law like that. The law will not purify you. The character of the Most High won't purify you if you think of it as something, a laundry list of do's and don'ts. It's got to be a living, working principle. Not a potential death penalty. But anyway, I just wanted to give you all this. And I just hope this goes out and touches at least one or two people. That's it. That's it. Because the world is flooded. The whole nation of Israel is drowning in keeping the law. in the flesh. Keeping the law with the same type of fear that you worship Satan. That's how a lot of people are keeping the law. They're not keeping the law with the love of Yahuwah or the fear of the Most High, which is one of adoration, praise. Let me say this before I go. I was raised in a household where the way that you honored your parents, and I was taught this by my parents, the way you honor and love your parents is by being scared to death of them. Fear that they were going to really do some really sadistic harm to you and beatings to you and punishments. That's how I was raised in a Christian household where they love the Lord with all their heart and want to go to heaven. I was raised that way. So it's real easy for me to identify this type of fear. It's very easy for me. Whenever the fifth commandment was cited, honor thy mother and father, the type of honor that it was always painted in was a fear that your mother would kill you, maim you, burn you, stab you, knock you unconscious. That's the type of honor that you're supposed to give to your mother. Why did my mother teach that? Why did my parents teach that type of fear and honor? Why? Because that's what they were taught. That's what they were taught. They were taught the way that you honor your mother and father is being by scared to death of them. I can remember times when my mother, in fun, as a little baby, I must have been about 2 years old. I remember when my mother used to come put Noxzema on her face and terrify us with Noxzema all on her face. And she would horrify me. That's the honor that I was taught even as a little baby, 2, 3 years old, to honor and love my mother. Guess what? When I got older, I found out that that's exactly what the churches teach. That's exactly what Israelites teach too. They teach that you got to be horrified of God, like he's about to kill you, burn you, scorch you to death, just for fun. You don't even have to do anything wrong. That's the way I was raised in the Christian church. So you see why I hate Christianity so much? You see why I hate it so much? Because it's demonic. And this is why I have a problem with a lot of Hebrew Israelites that have a Christian mentality. I won't say I hate them. I won't say that. But boy, I can't get along with them at all. I don't even try because I already know what spirit they're coming from. It's a demonic spirit with a little Hebrew Israelite paint on it. But anyway, you all take it easy. Have a blessed day. I hope this was a blessing to you. And I hope you have a clearer picture of who the Most High is and what type of character he has and how much and what type of fear you should fear him with. I hope this helps you. If this helps you, you're going to go a long way in your worship of the Most High. It's not going to be like everybody else's. And you're going to stand out like a sore thumb. You might even be labeled a heretic. But anyway, this is Prophet Rawanawa B signing out. You all have a beautiful Sabbath and shalom.